gotta show you something. Hey, come here. Take a look at this. Stand up, sir. Stand up, sir. Stand up. Now, face the front. Face. Is this a haircut? Wow, that's the block I live on, right there. New York City. Thank you. Very interesting. In fact, take a look at this sampling of today's teenagers. They are on our stage. Now, these kids like them all over the country, are growing up in an era of AIDS and crack and Saddam Hussein and budget deficits and rap music. Some of the ladies tell us that Julia Roberts is their ideal, while some of the guys say that Christian Slater, the star of the new movie Pump Up the Volume, is the envy of the fellas. But in the current baby bust generation, it is, as it has always been, tough to generalize about kids today. I want you to check out our living yearbook. Now, our guests range from debutantes to drug users, from jocks to 90s-style radicals, and from honor students to downtown punks. Today's teen extremes. That's the focus of this edition of Geraldo. They are living in the best of times and also the worst of times. The economy's been up, now it's crashing down, as you know. There are fax machines, car phones, abortion rallies, AIDS fears, and there's also a war about to start in the Middle East. Still, as always, many teenagers are more interested in pep rallies, the most popular kid in class, and who's got a crush on whom. Now, before we attempt to get into their scene, find out what they're thinking about, take a quick look at this video piece. Forget about dressing to impress. Today's teens are all about dressing to express. And in a blink of an eye, what's hair today is gone tomorrow. The Beatles have been replaced by New Kids on the Block. Rap rules the streets. And dance hall bobby soxers have been transformed into today's chic club hoppers. Homeboys know street slang is the thing, because if it ain't stupid fresh, then it ain't really dope. You Barneys, that means nerds out there, remember it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah. Talk may be colorful, but it's also cheap. And today's teens in many parts of this country have been plagued by violent crimes and senseless deaths. Sex and premature parenthood are also part of today's teen reality. So is illiteracy, with many kids getting through school without even knowing how to read or write. In between all the fun and games, being a teenager today can, as it's always been, be a quiet and lonely struggle to deal with changing bodies, shifting values, and challenging times. It is the worst and the best time of our life. Let's meet our living high school yearbook here. Jason Ross, a football player. Stephanie Stugart, a debutante. Andrew Dixon, the president of the National Honor Society. Kitty Sue, she's in to community service and also into music. Michelle, sadly, is a self-described junkie and drug peddler. Yolanda, what are you clapping for? Yolanda Pierce, in her high school, was the class president. Nick Tampio, I guess you'd describe him as a 90s-style political radical. He'll tell us what that is. Althea Garber is a downtown punk type, Althea? Okay. And Christine Myers, who is very active in the gay and lesbian rights movement. She is a lesbian. Okay, it is a wild, diverse group. It is, I think, very reflective of the various kids who are out there. Stephanie, let me start with you. I thought that, at least in my era, you know, 60s kids were very anti-debutante. Debutante balls even disappeared in many parts of the country for a while. Are they back?
I would say so. From the people that I've met where I go to school and from around my area and in parts of New York City are now more into them. They're coming back. I don't know. Now it's not the same as it was then. It was used strictly to bring girls out into society, and now it is used to benefit programs. They use the money that is donated in order to form programs for drug help for students.
Where do you hail from?
Well, I'm from Greenwich, Connecticut.
And where did you go to school?
I go to school in Dallas, Texas.
And where did you make your debut?
In Greenwich.
In Greenwich?
Yes.
A very affluent suburb of New York here. Were you nervous when you made your debutante parade, or whatever they call it?
No, I was more excited than nervous. It was,
What did it mean to you?
What did it mean to me? I don't know, it was just sort of, it was a father showing his daughter, and hopefully I was thinking making him proud, just to show him to all the people. And a bunch of my friends did it, and it was a time we got to do things together beforehand.
Is that the beautiful gown you wore that night?
Yeah, this is the gown I wore that evening.
Will you remember that evening forever?
Oh, absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
I want you to think about the other side of town. In your age group now, is it a fact that drug use is still rampant, or it's back?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us about that. What are the kids into, and why, if you think you can?
Most of the kids that I knew don't do it for financial purposes. They do it just for the enjoyment of it. And they use mostly marijuana and cocaine in some areas. And
How do you feel about that?
I think it's just the fact that, I don't know, they want to be cool and they're not happy enough doing things like going to movies or just having parties or going bowling, doing things like that. And since they've already been given so much, they have so much money, a lot of my friends, that they just decide that they have nothing better to do with their time. And it's fun, and they don't know how to have fun any other way. Just hang out. I mean, I've gone to places where groups of kids hang out and they don't even talk. They just do drugs and stuff like that. So.
And these are kids who have everything, right? Affluent?
Yeah.
Youngsters like yourself? Let me go over to the other side, to Michelle, who we found at 1 o'clock this morning in the Port Authority bus terminal in the Times Square area of Manhattan. A drug user and also a drug seller, right, Michelle?
You could say that.
Well, we are going to say that. No, seriously, why are you in that business? Why do you sell drugs?
Well, I guess everybody has to do something for money, right? And some people don't got it as fortunate as her. Some people got to work hard and struggle to make money, and they don't have parents that can afford to do things for them, so they got to do it for themselves.
Where are you from, Michelle?
Originally Minnesota.
And how long have you been here in New York?
3 years.
Living on the streets all that time?
No, I always had my own place. I always had money. That was never...
And is the way you get money always to sell drugs?
That's the only way, yeah.
What do you sell? What
only
kind of drugs?
reefer, some things.
Marijuana, mostly?
Yeah.
And cocaine also?
Sometimes.
When you get your hands on it, you sell it, right?
You can always get your hands on anything in New York City.
How do you feel about yourself, may I ask?
Myself, I don't really do anything that's, except for smoke pot, but a lot of people, they do anything for it. It's messed up, you know, but you can't always make money like you need to. You can. Not everybody has it like they do.
Who do you sell to? What kind of people?
I wouldn't say mostly, not to kids my age. Mostly I'd say to adults. Like people around anywhere from 20 to 40.
Oh, real ancient people, really.
Some people that are like businessmen, even some businessmen maybe that work here.
And how old are you, Michelle?
I just turned 19.
You just turned 19. So you were on the street since just turning 16?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go home?
Yeah, my parents, you know, they want me back now. They always tell me to come back because I call them all the time.
Well, they're probably watching you on television right now.
Maybe.
You want to say something to your parents?
Hi, Ma. What's up?
Do you think your parents might be humiliated by the line of work that you've chosen?
I don't care. They didn't care. When I left home, they didn't care, so I don't really care. I'll be like, peace.
Melissa, what do you think about what you just heard from Michelle?
Well, like she said, I mean, if you're brought up in a home that you feel that you're not comfortable in and you don't get what other kids get, I mean, if you have to make money your own way and that's the only way that you think you could do it, then I guess you shouldn't, but I don't know. It's hard. I mean, you can't really say because I really wasn't in that position. I mean, there have been times that I've been wanting to leave home, but I couldn't bring myself to do that because in some way, I am very lucky for who my parents are and what they have brought me up to.
Can you tell us very generally who your parents are? I mean, what does your dad do?
Well, my parents come from Brazil. They've been living in America for 24 years, and my mother takes care of an elderly lady, and so we live in that house. And I'm just very lucky that I'm living here. I mean, instead of living in Brazil.
How important in your life is your cheerleading activity?
Oh, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I love football games. I love to watch football. So, I mean, cheerleading is something that I love to do because I love cheering for my friends.
Do you think that maybe you and Michelle here, or Stephanie and Michelle, that you live on almost different planets?
Do I think they do?
That you and she?
No, not at all. I don't.
Do you understand why anyone would do what she does?
Well, no. I mean, I guess I can and I can't. I can't really say.
Stephanie?
Do I understand? Like Melissa, I've never been in that situation before. It does sound like different planets. I mean, but I can understand where she's coming from if someone needs, I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, it would seem wonderful if there could be some way that they could make money. And I mean, I don't support what they're doing at all. And I don't know, I think a huge problem today is maybe parenting and the fact that the parents aren't always there for the kids. And maybe if her parents were more and she felt comfortable at home, then she wouldn't be placed in this situation. But that does seem foreign to me, I have to say.
Well, there's a million questions we have. You know, no special questions because I think what we are interested in is trying to capture a sense of a generation to the extent that 15 youngsters, drawn, as you can see, from as diverse a group of backgrounds as you can imagine, what they think about their own lives, what they think about the world they are living in. They are extremes, in a sense, when you go from Michelle's reality to Stephanie's. We're trying to cover the whole territory. Our discussions with these youngsters continue. Give us 2 minutes. Come back to Teen Extremes.
Looking for a new job?
Before I came to Computer Learning Center, I was a policeman. I was a little worried that I didn't know anything about computers.
How about computer training?
They teach you about computers. They also helped me get my first position in the computer field.
It's good pay.
I'm making more now than I would after 18 years in the force.
For information on an exciting career in computers, call 703-971-7910. That's 971-7910. Call now.
There are so many diets available. You know, you can buy books, you can drink liquids, you can do all of those things, but none of those things give people what is most important, and that is that one-on-one support. The counselors are always cheering them on, giving them the encouragement that they need. It's been so easy for them, so natural, that they don't realize they've really gone through a program for weight loss.
Announcing our fall special. Only a $79 service fee. Call 1-800-76-JENNY.
A lot of accident claims never get a fair hearing because many people think you have to be rich to have a lawyer. But it can cost you plenty to settle your own claim, and you don't have to. At Hyatt Legal Services, we took the fear out of legal fees. Before you sign something you don't understand, come in and talk to one of our lawyers. We'll help you fight for what you're entitled to. I'm Joel Hyatt, and you have my word on it. We took the fear out of legal fees across the country and in your neighborhood.
La, 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 la.
Just a little reminder that Franco-American gravy is made with natural meat stocks and juices.
One program note. I want to tell our viewers what our studio audience already knows. Later in the broadcast, we'll be hearing from Perfect Gentlemen. They're the youngsters who open up for New Kids on the Block. We'll hear their special brand of music. Jason, are you ever afraid that you're going to be kind of stereotyped as a jock, that's an empty-headed person who relies on his beef and his brawn instead of his brains?
No, because I have a confidence in myself, and I go to my classes, and a lot of my friends can attest for that, that I'm not a smart kid, but I know I have a good head on my shoulders, and I know what I'm doing.
You ever watch the interviews they do, even on Monday Night Football or some of the pro basketball games, and they interview people who are at the top of their particular sport, and some of the guys have a hard time putting a sentence together because their education was neglected when they emphasized their athletic endeavors in school. Do you feel that that's a trap that sometimes people, particularly minority people, fall into? Well,
It's like, there's a lot of pressure put onto you by a coach. And its way of dealing with the pressure is how you eventually handle it. Because if a coach put pressure on you, it's like you feel like insecure, and it's like, I have to listen to what he does because he's the coach. But you also have to remember that you're a student first, a human being, and also a player. Just put education before athletics.
What do you want to be then when you graduate, when you get out there?
Lawyer or...
All right. Sounds good. I don't want to get hung up on this drug thing, as they say, but what about steroids and some of the other, not the necessarily narcotic drugs that are out there? What about those to beef yourself up and make yourself more formidable?
Steroids is an overexploited thing. It's so typical that a jock must take it. Oh, he went away for the summer, he's 90 pounds. He comes back, he's 230. So it's like...
Have you ever been offered steroids?
No.
Come on.
On honest between me and you and everyone here, no.
Honestly, me, you, and 10 million of your best friends.
Whoever's it's like, it's around you and you know it's there. It's the whole point of you asking for it rather than it being offered. It's suggested, but it's not offered.
Are jocks still the big men on campus?
You can say that somewhat. I mean, any person who's on a team is like a standout in the crowd.
Easier time getting dates?
Yeah.
Andrew, on the other hand, do you ever feel like, what's that word for, you know, they used to call it nerds. I forget the slang expression. Do you ever get that leveled at you?
Not at all.
Is your incredible achievement as president of the National Honor Society recognized by the other students?
Yeah, I mean, but it's accepted. It's no longer
you don't have to apologize for it.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize for being smart these days, which is a positive outlook on our society, I think.
Do you think that's changed? Do you think that's new, different?
I can't say. I've only lived in this period of time.
Do you ever feel nostalgic for what you read about?
Not at all.
Youth,
not at all.
the youth generation. I remember when I was growing up, seriously, they said, and it was a slogan, maybe because I was a baby boomer and we were the biggest demographic group in society, don't trust anyone over 30. Now, do you ever get the feeling that maybe your generation is being totally overlooked and neglected by those who are running the ship right now?
No, I think they are looking at us, but they're giving us a pretty bad reputation.
What do you tell me? What do you think the rap is?
The rap is that kids today, except Oriental kids, who of course study all the time, kids today are only interested in sex, alcohol, drugs, clothes, dating, you know, whatever.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's not the truth?
No, not at, well, I mean, it is to a point, but it was in the 60s, the 50s, the 70s. I mean, we're no different than any other generation. And also, it's sort of ironic that the adults today are so easy to put down kids, while the adults, in fact, have screwed up our environment. They've given us this nice debt to deal with. The SNL crisis also.
Now, Nick, he's starting to sound like you. You're supposed to be the closet radical here.
Yeah.
What are the big issues? Do you have any issues? Are there issues that go beyond, you know, the gratification of your own immediate needs and your own future?
Oh, there are a lot of issues facing young people today. I think some of the bigger ones are the environment, where we don't see enough being done to really do something about the environment. I think there's a problem with the economy, where these young women have to sell drugs, which does happen a lot. And I think there's a problem with our foreign policy, that I don't think a lot of the young people today are satisfied with what we're doing in the Middle East.
Oh, I thought that all you kids, all you yuppies were interested in is your own future and getting gold Tupperware and a new BMW. That's not true?
I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think a lot of older people typify that to the 80s generation with Reagan, but I think we're going to see a big change. I don't think the problems could be ignored much longer.
Kitty, are you a member of that privileged race that studies all the time? Is that your scene?
Well, it's definitely like stereotype that, you know, Asians they excel in math and science.
Do you think that Asian Americans have inherited all the old stereotypes that used to attach themselves and to a large extent still do to other minorities? Are you the victims of the next wave of stereotyping?
I think so. I mean, like when you look at the Westinghouse, like winners, they're all Asians, and then, I don't know, it's...
When Japanese businessmen buy, and women buy, like mostly men, I guess, mostly Japanese businessmen, buy Pebble Beach, the famous golf course, or, you know, Rockefeller Center, do you ever feel any kind of discrimination, any kind of resentment toward you as a representative of what is perceived by some people as a master race?
Well, not really. I mean, like the Japanese, everyone says like the Japanese are gonna like take over the world, you know, with their technologies and all that. But I mean, they're working hard for it, you know, and
Your interest is new wave music?
yeah, that's
Is that your way of dealing with the pressure of being the best and the brightest?
No, I do a lot of things actually. I don't just listen to new wave. I don't know.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Tell us.
What do I do? Well, I'm into photography and art and music, and I love to travel, you know, around the world.
You would love to, or you have?
No, I have.
What's your relationship like with your parents?
It's really good. Yeah,
You
my
talk
mom's
to them?
really liberal, and she's really open-minded. You know, I get along with her. She's like my best friend.
Oh, yeah?
And my father's really supportive of me, you know, my schoolwork and all. He helps me. So.
Yolanda, how about your parents? You get a chance to chat with them?
Yes, they're up there.
Where are they?
They're right there in the
Come on,
back.
stand up. Where are parents? Come on, stand up, proud parents. Come on. Get a shot of the proud parents up there. Oh, we'll get to talk to you, but it's the kids' show. Yolanda, the class president, the achiever. We'll hear your story. We've got to take a 2-minute break, and more from all these youngsters and your questions here in the audience. Give us 2 minutes. Come back to Teen Extreme, New York City.
Ever have hands this dry?
Sometimes when I go like this to my husband, he goes like, ooh.
Ever try Eversoft?
I didn't know it was a lotion that you put on, and after you wash your hands, it still stays on.
Jergens Eversoft for dry skin relief that lasts.
Sensational.
Being an actress, I always try to look my best. If you wear dentures and want to look your best, use Super Strength Polident. It soaks away the toughest stains, and Polident's minty mouthwash ingredient leaves your dentures minty fresh clean. Super Strength Polident.
These cakes are good. There's nothing in them, you know. Nothing? Like colors, I mean. It's yellow. Well, there's no flavors. What do you mean? I like the flavor.
Kix has a corn crunch that kids like. And Kix is low in sugar with no added colors or flavors. That's what moms like.
If there's nothing in it, how come I'm so full? You did eat 2 bowls. Oh.
Kix, kid-tested, mother-approved.
They range from jocks to junkies, from drug users to debutantes, from honor students to dropouts. Teen Extreme's our focus continues. Stay with us.
Sure, it's early to be thinking about Christmas, but it's not too early to start thinking about making Christmas yard decorations for fun or profit. Our new full-size Christmas patterns can make you the hit of your neighborhood. With Christmas patterns from Michael's MJ Designs and graphite paper, trace the pattern onto an exterior piece of plywood. Use a jigsaw to cut out the pattern and then paint the pattern following the color picture guide. Christmas patterns with complete instructions are available at your nearest Michael's MJ Designs. There's no place like MJ Designs.
the easy sounds of WGAY. You know, it's one of the things that make Washington such a productive city. We play the kind of music that sets your mind at ease so you can relax and concentrate on whatever you're doing. In fact, more people around Washington listen to WGAY during the workday than any other radio station in town. So take the edge off your difficult day and listen to WGAY 99.5 on your FM dial. It works.
When I saw the videotape, tears came to my eyes and a lump came in my throat. It was awful, awful to see myself like that. Jenny Craig gave me back all the things I lost, all my self-esteem, my motivation. She gave me back everything. Had a lot of people come up and say, "Is that you? Is that you?" "Yeah, that's me." Jenny Craig was the best thing that could have happened in my life, the best thing.
Announcing our fall special. Only a $79 service fee. Call 1-800-76-JENNY.
I'm Adrienne Arpel. This week we're doing my complete 2-hour makeover at the Hex Beauty Salon. You'll receive a deep cleansing facial with a honey and almond scrub, skin vacuuming, and a heated collagen mask. Next, your makeup and lesson. And then our stylists will cut and restyle your hair. Just 2 hours later. Isn't this worth $30? Call for your complete Adrienne Arpel makeover.
$30 at Hex Beauty Salon.
I want to show you a couple more haircuts on the guys. I remember at the University of Arizona when the Beatles came out, I started combing my hair down over my forehead. That was considered radical. Now, what's that do? I mean, does it have a name?
Yes, it's a chain link.
The chain link, of course. I should have known. What do you have there? Oh, I recognize that character.
Bart Simpson.
Why?
Just felt like getting him. I'm a fan of his.
You are? Mm-hmm. Good thing it wasn't like Gone with the Wind, the movie. You have the scene of Atlanta burning back there. All right. Are your existences, you're a freshman at Princeton, right?
Yes.
Is that... First of all, congratulations on that. I mean, getting into that school and the Ivy League world must have been an incredible challenge, and you did it. Is that world totally isolated from the real world?
No, not at all. I have been very fortunate to not only be a student at Princeton, but also a student at Brooklyn Friends School, which was a prep school. And that world of, you know, expensive schools and prep schools and Ivy League schools, we're not isolated from the rest of the world. We're trying to do what we can. And it's just a stereotype to think that we're just all there at Princeton studying and not contributing to the community, because we are.
You really are contributing in what sense? What do you want the community to be or do that you think you can have some influence over?
Well, you can't make the community perfect. What you can is contribute your part to make something better. So by different programs that I had at my prep school and by programs that we now have at Princeton, if we all just do a little bit, something's going to change.
That's great. But I want one real example. Give me one real example.
Well, one example, I've had the experience of working at a hospital here in New York City, and I worked with border babies. Those were babies who were addicted to drugs, whose mothers were addicted to drugs and alcohol. And I guess that I felt like I was doing my part by going and working with these babies and being with them, in a sense providing some of the love that I feel that they were not receiving from their mothers. So that's just one example of how I've done it, but several other people do different other things, and that's a concrete example to get back into the community.
Would you say that you're working within the system?
Yes.
Now, Alethea, would you say that you live basically outside the system with your interest in the whole punk world?
No, I don't, not at all. Just because you look different and you're interested in different things doesn't mean that you're not aware of what's going on in the world. It's very important to be. I mean, if your mind is in a different place, then how can you live in this world? It's impossible. You have to know what's going on. You can have different interests than other people and alternative tastes, but you still have to be aware.
Is that your little sis sitting next to you?
Yeah.
Best friend?
Yeah.
Now, you definitely, could you both stand? I just want to get a look at your outfits. They're terrific. What's your sister's name? What's your name?
I'm Helen.
Helen. I remember that look from around 1968. I mean,
back.
It's So what is the, you know, your social life like? You spend a lot of time downtown at the punk clubs and stuff?
Well, yeah, we do go to clubs a lot, and we hang out in the village a lot.
Yeah,
With our
because there, nobody gets upset about the way we look. Nobody makes fun of us. No one gives us problems.
Do you think that were you not in that area, that neighborhood, that someone might be staring at you?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I do see people, like, when I dyed my hair pink, when I went down the hallways, I heard, look at her, look at her, look at her.
I don't know why people would comment on pink hair.
It might not be the most common thing, but it's my taste, and I'm going to express it.
I don't mind punk or new wave or anything, but I really don't like slam dancing. It's, you know, they throw your bodies around and, I mean, is that still around?
That is around. I don't participate in it because I don't like broken bones, but some people do. I mean, it's very active. You go to a lot of the nightclubs in the city, and there's slam dancing if there's a hardcore band on. I mean, nobody forces you to participate, but...
Don't you think that's a little much, though? I mean, broken bones, it's a way of entertaining yourself?
But it's what they want to do. It's their life, and if they enjoy that, you know, there's nothing anybody can really do to stop them.
What do you have that same answer for Michelle's lifestyle and, you know, selling drugs in the Port Authority bus terminal?
Well, you have to make the most of your life. You only have one life to live, and I think if you waste your time, if you waste your life doing things just to survive, you're never going to be productive. You have to have goals in your life, and it doesn't matter how high you set them as long as you strive for them. And if that's her goals, well, if she's satisfied like that, then fine. That's fine with her, for her. I personally wouldn't be satisfied like that, but...
Michelle, you want to respond?
Well, I guess right now, that's not what I want to do forever. I mean, I do have goals in life, but there's only a few things people could do, I guess, when you're out on the street. You could either sell yourself, your body, you could sell drugs, or you could rob and steal from people. I mean, that's what it boils down to. That's what I believe anyways. There's only 3 things you could do to survive.
Mia, do you feel in a very negative way toward Michelle and what she does?
Towards what she does? Yes. Towards why? Not really. I live in a really isolated community. I mean, I go to a prep school, and I live in a pretty affluent town where there are a lot of drugs too, because it's on the other end of the spectrum. But I don't feel any animosity towards her. I feel sorry that I don't feel sorry for her. I feel sorry about the position she's been put in. I don't condemn her for what she does.
Why not? Why don't you condemn her?
I don't have the right to judge her life. I'm a very lucky person. My parents have strived for me. My father worked his way up from Farmington, Illinois to law school. My mother worked, she didn't, not quite so far as my dad, not as far to go, but my mother worked really hard to get where she is too, and they've given their life up for me. And I can't condemn someone else because they haven't had the luck I have. I just don't consider myself a better person. I consider myself a more lucky person.
Michael, don't you condemn what she's doing?
No, not at all.
Haven't you seen a bunch of your friends go down to drugs?
Definitely I have. I live in an area where the village is over rampage with drugs, but I don't condemn her at all. I look at her and I almost feel sorry because, and I'd like to put the blame on someone. I blame a lot of people or a lot of things.
Don't you blame her? Don't you think she has responsibility?
No, not at all, because she's a victim. I look at her as being a victim. Institutions have failed the youth of America. Religion has failed us. The family has failed us. So many things have failed us to where we're put in a situation where we have no alternative. She was driven into that. Like she said, she was having problems at home. She was driven from her home. She ended up in New York. I mean, you live on the streets of New York, you have to survive, you know? You're a human being. Survival comes first. You know, you don't think about morals. You don't think about, oh, well, I'm offending some people. You think about survival. You think about putting food on the table and surviving. Now, I don't appreciate what she did. I don't condone it, but I don't condemn her at all. Because I look at her as a victim.
Take a break.
Last year, Susan and Jane went shopping for sofas. Susan went to Marlowe. Jane went to a department store. 2 days later, Susan got her sofa. Jane was still waiting. 3 months later, Susan bought a new bedroom at Marlowe. Jane was still waiting for her sofa. Then Susan bought a new dining room set at Marlowe. Jane was still waiting. No one likes waiting for furniture. At Marlowe, you don't have to. More people buy furniture at Marlowe than any store in Washington. Come see why.
Before you decide your career future, take a look at the one ads and see where the opportunities are. Computer repair. The list of jobs goes on and on. Trained repair people are in big demand in almost every career field, and they're making serious money. At Computer Learning Center, you can train for a career in computer repair and learn just what you need to get started.
Computer technology is here to stay. That's job security and top pay for computer technicians like me. Call Computer Learning Center, 703-971-7910. 703-971-7910.
Do you have bills mounting up? Have the banks turned you down for bad credit, no credit, or you're self-employed? Could you find a good use for $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 or more? If you answered yes and need to borrow at least $10,000, First Security Mortgage can help you get the money you need fast. All you need is to own your own home, have equity in that home, and be regularly employed. Borrowing money is easier at First. First Security Mortgage. Call us now at 448-1050, 448-1050.
I got it! Hi, guys.
Okay, we got some soda. OJ, purple stuff, Sunny Delight.
Sunny Delight.
What's in this? Tastes like orange and tangerine. Yeah, lime. Some healthy junk, too.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? I'm thirsty. What?
Problem, guys?
No. Way to be, Mrs. Jackson. Come on. Yes.
Sunny Delight. Kids get the taste. Moms get the credit.
I want some more.
I mentioned they open for new kids on the block. Ladies and gentlemen, the young gentlemen.
So sad. She was the sweetest, dearest friend I ever had. She could talk to me almost any time. And at the end of my day, I felt fine. Her mother broke the news to my heart. She said they're leaving, and now I'm tearing all apart. I think I'll never forget that day. And for you, girl, this is all I have to say. Myself and I, you were my girl, and of course I was your guy. We were together forever, in love for life. And now it don't seem so very nice. Forever to me was short but sweet. You never let me down, you kept me on my feet. And now today, all I have to say, check it out, girl, and try to find a way.
Stay with us.
Drinking and driving just don't mix. At the law offices of John Kritzos, we never defend drunk drivers. We only represent innocent auto accident victims. If you've been involved in an auto accident, call 839-0999, and we'll do everything possible to get you all the cash you're entitled to. Call 839-0999 for your free legal appointment now. Let John Kritsos be your auto accident attorney.
To demonstrate the new Kick the Habit gradual smoking withdrawal system, we're comparing nicotine to the grasp of a beast. But with the Kick the Habit level 1 filter, your nicotine intake is reduced. You'll feel more like this. In a week, switch to level 2. The grasp of nicotine is reduced even more.
Week 3, level 3. Now you're ready to quit. And the monkey's off your back. Kick the Habit, the gradual smoking withdrawal system.
Looked for a job lately? Employers wanting experience only? Maybe it's time you looked into a career as a medical assistant at the National Education Center. This phone number is a good place to start. What are you waiting for? Stop drifting. Call for a brochure on careers in the medical field. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337.
Coming on video cassette. Come on, Barney! They're back, and they've saved the best for last.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that? 7-Eleven.
Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Mary Steenburgen, Back to the Future Part 3, coming on video cassette November 8th. Also on video cassette, Mel.
You're gonna pay for that one.
Plus Goldie equals action.
You gotta break fight for him, Liddy.
Bird on a Wire. Bring it home on video cassette starting November 15th.
I said the young gentlemen. They are, of course, the perfect gentlemen. Give me your appreciation. What do I know? I think some of those ladies over there like your stuff a lot.
Thanks.
How do you deal with that?
We just take it as a blessing and go with it each day.
So you're real show business veterans now. How long you been at this?
About a year.
Okay. Is it exciting opening for new kids and packed stadiums?
Very exciting.
But soon you'll be your own headline act, right?
Hopefully starting next year.
All right, good enough. Perfect gentleman. Christy, up until a couple of years ago, there was tremendous stigma attached to being gay, particularly being young and gay. Most often, teenagers particularly never came out of the closet until they were well into adulthood and they could move to the big city far away from their roots and come out of the closet in a way that didn't impact on, their childhood friends. Tell us a little bit about the decision to go public and the impact it's had on the rest of your life.
Well, it wasn't really a big decision. I just felt that I wanted everybody else to know that I was a lesbian.
What about your parents? What about your childhood friends?
Well, I only have my mother, but I couldn't really talk to her because she doesn't want to know anything about it.
Is she embarrassed? Is she totally opposed to it? Does she challenge you and say it's not so?
No, she's just old-fashioned.
Do you understand how she could be upset about it then?
She's upset, but I'm her daughter and she'll always love me.
Is that the bottom line then?
Yeah.
Is it very difficult? Is it still very difficult for a gay young person?
Well, not for myself, but for others I see around me that it's tough for them because they have parents just like me that don't want to have anything to do with them. They don't want to acknowledge that their son or daughter is a gay or lesbian. They just want to throw them out of the house and forget about them.
Is your homosexuality now the most important single thing in your life, or like these other teenagers, are you interested in the things they go through, like the debutante, the teenager, the junkie, the uptown girl, etc.?
I'm interested in everything. Being a lesbian is only part of my life. I have other things I do.
Tell us briefly what they are.
Okay, I have a lot of hobbies. I like to go to the movies, just go for a walk, and I work for a living.
And you, what do you do?
I work in a clothing store.
Best friend? Do you have a best friend?
Not anymore.
What happened?
Well, she decided she didn't want to be a friend of a lesbian.
That must have hurt.
Yeah, but she's missing out on a good thing, so I said, I have new friends I can make.
Simona, you are 15 years old. Is Uptown Girl an appropriate description, you think?
I guess that when you live, you know, in Manhattan, you know, my time is kind of divided between being uptown, which is where I live, and being in the village. But just wherever I want to go and whatever things that I want to do and wherever they are, that's basically, you know, where I'd go.
Your friends tell you look like Julia Roberts?
People always tell me I have Julia Roberts' hair. That's people tell me.
Is that a good thing?
I guess.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Never?
No, I have. But it's not right now.
Was he the same age as you or an older man?
Both. I mean...
Do you think boys your age are as mature as girls?
No. No, I really don't.
So what's the oldest guy you ever went out with?
About 18, 19.
Wow, really old. What'd you have in common with him?
What?
What'd you have in common with him?
I guess, I mean, when you're 15, I mean, you know, I think a lot of guys aren't as, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but most of the guys that I know are really immature. I mean, and I guess just, you know, there's a lot of, I've had a lot of in common with, like, a lot of older guys that I've met. And, I mean, they're nice, and we have...
Do they hit on you?
No. I mean, lots do, but, I mean, I'm just not attracted by that, you know, when people...
I'm going to give the audience a chance to ask their question. How many have questions? Oh, yeah, Blunt. Give us 2 minutes. Great.
If you'd like to be part of our live studio audience, then write us at Geraldo Tickets, 524 West 57th Street, New York, 10019. Or you can call us, 212-265-1283.
White Palace.
I wonder how you two met.
I picked him up in a bar. How's that? You looking for trouble?
I liked her look, so I convinced her to let me bring her home. And I seduced her on the sofa bed, and it was magic. And I keep coming back for more.
Susan Sarandon, James Spader, White Palace. Rated R. Starts Friday in select areas.
Hey, Mom, check out this. Now there's a Boggle game for kids. Boggle Junior is just right for me. I match the letters with the word I see. Kids have fun, lots of ways. Boggle Junior lets everyone play.
Boggle Junior from Parker Brothers.
Who took the missing pet? The clues are right here in the Clue Junior game. Who, where, and which pet was nabbed?
Georgie Green, Heather Kitty, and the Rick store.
Case closed. The Clue Junior game.
Johnny Carson makes millions laugh, and he makes millions making them laugh. Now Jody Carson, the woman who co-hosted him through his first marriage, wants a share of his fortune. Hear her story and the stories of other celebrity exes on the next edition of Geraldo.
Does your bank make you feel like they're dealing with you in slow motion? Is time passing you by? If you're looking for a home equity loan at competitive rates, let TFC Financial get you the money you need fast. Credit problems are no problem. If you own a home and have a steady job, TFC can help. Tired of waiting for your bank? Then call TFC Financial today at 595-4200.
When Brenda Washington called 548-4800, it was the first step in making her dreams happen. Kathy Robbins called 548-4800 because she knew that Test offered excellent career training. And Susan Jefferson called 548-4800 because she needed career skills to return to work in the shortest time possible. Today, they're office computer specialist, Brenda, data entry specialist, Kathy, microcomputer operator, Susan, word processing specialist. Isn't it time you called 548-4800? Test Electronic and Computer Institute for career training that works for 21 years.
Save up to 63% at Morton's Fall Fashion Sale. Mrs. Knit pant sets, $12.99. Plus sizes, $14.99. Ladies Palmetto corduroy jeans, $12.99. Mrs. Acid Wash denim coats, $55.99. Plus sizes, $59.99. Boys and students Wrangler sweaters, $8.99. Girls quilt coats, $35. Little girls, $33. Men's, misses, and plus size turtlenecks, $5 at all 7 Mortons. Now through Monday.
It's faster.
It's simpler.
It makes your hair look beautiful.
Revlon Research creates Flex and Go, the really new shampoo and conditioner in one.
One step instead of two. I love shortcuts.
Flex and Go's patented formula combines the best from shampoos and the best from conditioners in one, with no residue buildup to weigh your hair down.
So Flex and Go.
And go. And go. And go.
New Flex and Go. One step to great looking, great feeling hair.
Teen Extremes. Now focus your question.
Hi, I have a question for the teenagers on drugs. I was wondering, I'm 13 years old, and I was wondering if I were to come up to you and ask you if you would sell me some drugs, would you sell them to me?
First of all, I don't do drugs.
Well,
but first of all, I would not
anyone who sells drugs. Anyway, I'm not going to get into a debate on it. Would you sell her drugs?
No, I would not.
Why not? She's got the money.
Because she's just too, she looks too perfect, like too little. You know, like, there's a lot of people, I never would sell drugs to anybody pregnant or to anybody young, because that just couldn't do it.
I must say that my experience with drug sellers makes you the exception if what you're saying is true.
Well, I just want to make a comment about the steroid use. If you're a coach, which I am, I'm making Jason weightlift, and I have wrestlers here and basketball players here. If I'm a coach, I'm making him weightlift. I know what his body should look like. So if you're a good coach or you're an involved parent, you'll know whether your kid's on steroids.
All right.
Michelle, if you sell drugs and everything, why don't you save your money and go to school?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh. All right.
I like to ask a debutante a question. Do people stereotype you as a snob or like think you have perfect everything and have no problems or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Which I don't think is true at all, because when I was a debutante, there was a whole variety of people. People earn money to do it themselves and things like that, but you're definitely stereotyped.
Among your friends, though, I mean, don't you really have to have a BMW or a Porsche to be in?
I seriously think that there were people there who really earned the money and had to buy them.
Generally speaking.
Generally speaking, in my community, yes. People do stereotype you as having what you want.
I'd like to ask Michelle if she likes it better living on the streets or living at home with her parents.
I'd say everybody would rather be at home with their parents than on the street.
This is addressed to Yolanda. I'm Karen Jackson. I'm a native of Chesapeake, Virginia. I just had to throw that in for my mother. But I'd just like to know, what do we do about, like, teenage mothers, people who are on drugs and suicide victims, people who don't have hope, they don't know what to do? What is your success? What is your formula to success? How do you make it? You're at Princeton University. Tell everybody else how to get it.
Okay. Well, there are several ways that I made it. First of all, I have a strong and abiding belief in God, and I think that it's important for you to have something to believe in. So, and I also have a strong parent network, and I also have just a strong network from various people all over, including the Oliver program, which got me into my prep school. So if you don't have that, I'm serious, pray to God, because God will send it to you, and I'm a true believer in that.
This question's to Christy over there. When you meet somebody new, are you open with them that you're a lesbian? I mean, do you tell them right there, or do you wait until you feel comfortable with them?
If they ask me, I would tell them.
At what point do you let them know if they don't ask?
If we become really good friends, then I would tell them.
I would like to commend the football player, because my family is like that also. And there are a lot of football players who are very smart. And my cousin is just like you, and they labeled him stupid, and he got a scholarship, and he went on the education one. And I like to also say, stop dissing my girl Michelle over there. She's trying to survive, you know. That's the reason why some of them turn to this, because you keep on putting negative views on them.
Hello, my name is Naomi Gonzalez, and I'm 16. I come from Brooklyn, right? It's not a question I'm going to say right now. It's just I'm going to address something to everybody. Hey, okay. But I just want to say that even though one is poor, rich, or debutante, either one is black, Chinese, or whatever, we're all teenagers. We all have the same problems. And we should all be here to try to help one another, not stereotyping or anything like that.
Gotcha. Take a break. Thank you. Good advice.
For transcripts, please send $3 to Journal Graphics, Geraldo Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 10007. Or call 212-227-READ.
As a reporter, I cover a lot of accident stories. That one may not make the front page, but for the victim, it could be the story of a lifetime. Hospital bills, property damage, lost pay. I just hope they find a good lawyer.
Call Greenberg and Betterman at 589-2200. I'm Roger Greenberg. At Greenberg and Betterman, we'll make sure you get everything you're entitled to, under the law. So call us at 589-2200.
Hop in, my pet. Let's go for a ride.
Wait a minute. How are you driving? I thought your car insurance was canceled.
Relax. I called Cat's Insurance at 490-9333. I got same-day coverage with easy terms and the lowest down payment in Maryland or D.C.
Even with your points and accidents?
Oh, that's right, kitten. And now to the Kit Kat Club.
Need auto insurance today? Call Cats. That's right, Cats. 490-9333.
Hi, I'm Susan with Sterling Mirrors. I'd like to show you how a custom wall mirror can make your home look more elegant, luxurious, and spacious. We have hundreds of styles and sizes to choose from, including panels, blocks, beveled strips, and sliding mirrored doors. Have this huge 72 by 90 Simplicity panel mirror installed for only $249. To arrange for our free shop-at-home design service, call 937-0333. Call now, 937-0333.
Are you ready to play? Wheel of Fortune and the Jeopardy! Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! Back to back, Trebek and Sajak. Banner's gonna be there, and so will you. I said back to back, a game show attack. Cause the wheel is gonna get you in Jeopardy too.
Any questions?
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune! Back to back classics any way you play them.
Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, back to back, weeknights on Channel 7.
I quickly want to get some of the slang that the kids are saying. Now, one of Paul Dixon wrote this book on slang. What's it called? Slang. Okay, slang. We heard dis. Dis means disrespect. I know. Give me 4 or 5 others.
Daddy lax. That pertains to cars. That's an expensive car that a parent gave the kid.
Daddy lax.
Yeah. Clydesdale is a good-looking guy with big legs, and then the next version of that is stud muffin. That's stud muffin, which is a put down. It's a guy who sort of thinks he's Sylvester Stallone but isn't, and maybe over macho. Two more. Iron Pimp. That's the school bus, and Lost Between the Bells. That's being late for class.
Okay, Paul Dixon. This is General Maurice Turner, right? Turner Taylor. Come on, stand up, you perfect gentlemen. Are they going to be as big as new kids?
Just as big or bigger, yes.
What do they got? Quick.
They got style, they got talent, and finesse, and all.
I tell you what, they get a shot of our group. Come on out. You know, Michelle, we all hope that you get help for yourself. The other kids, look at, and you too, soon. This is the future, and the future is not in very bad hands. It's in pretty good hands, isn't it? I mean, generally speaking, I'm very impressed with these youngsters. Michelle's going to get help, and she'll join the crowd, too. I want to thank all the kids. I want to thank you folks in the audience. You folks at home for watching. See you next time. Bye.
It's Macy's one-day sale Wednesday with special hours from 9 to 11. Save 20 to 50% store-wide.
We're a part of your life.
I am a good driver. I am. I was just swerving to miss a dog. And then that cop car I hit, it's never parked there. Man, I come off just one accident, and my insurance company drops me. Well, there was 7. And some tickets and a boot, but I'm telling you, they made my lady won't walk anywhere. I need some car insurance. I need a company that will cover me now, today.
Senate will. Call Senate Insurance at 336-3300. 336-3300.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
Your bills are piling up. You can't get a loan because your bills are late. But your bills are late because you can't get a loan because your bills are late. Can't somebody help? Well, now, there's a nationwide number you can call for help. 1-900-990-LOAN can help you find the money you need. People who will lend you money for bills, cars, boats, just about anything. Bad credit, no problem. You must be over 18 to call. A $39 charge will appear on your local phone bill. We guarantee we can help regardless of your credit or your money back. Call 1-900-990-LOAN today.
Over 1 million kids will see their moms and dads divorced this year. Should you stay together for the kids? On the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
At 4 p.m. on Channel 7.